Dina, thanks for taking some time for us.
Thanks for having me.
So jury selection began today, and give us a sense of how this whole process is supposed to unfold, because I understand it's not going to be over today.
No, absolutely not. The jury selection alone is going to take about 2 weeks. And the reason why is with a high-profile nature like this, they expect to go through quite a bit of potential jurors to weed out anybody who's, seen too much press and that has formed an opinion. They really need somebody who can set aside anything that they may have seen in the press. And then the trial itself is expected to last, a month and a half or so, because there's quite a bit of testimony that we're expecting to see in this.
So, Dina, fundamentally, as we look at this legally, what's different about this case in LA versus the one that we saw in New York?
Essentially, the underlying charges are similar. He is being charged with 11 counts here of sexual assault. He was being charged with a sexual assault also in New York. But this is a larger case. We have more women here that he is being charged that he allegedly assaulted. And there are even more women who are testifying. There is 9 total here, and there were 6 total in New York. Some of those are as what we call prior bad act witnesses.
And we know that Weinstein, Dina, is in the process of appealing his current conviction, of course, in New York. First of all, is there any thinking that that has a chance of succeeding? And I also wonder how that ongoing matter might affect the current process that's underway in LA, if at all.
That's a great question. And it does actually make this a little bit more interesting, because the fact that the New York highest court took his appeal to review was a little bit of a surprise for people. We think that what they're looking at is whether or not the judge kind of put too many limits on his ability to testify, or maybe allowed in too many prior bad acts. It is possible that they could overturn his conviction in New York. If they do that, this LA trial becomes that much more important. Not only that, but the LA prosecutors had been able to reference the New York trial according to the judge. But will they do that knowing if the New York conviction gets overturned, that could create an appealable issue in Los Angeles? So the fact that the New York State Court did take on that appeal does complicate things a little bit for Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's interesting to look at all the legal parameters here as well, Dina. One more thing I wanted to touch on was the fact that accusers are going to be testifying with their identities concealed. Is that unusual in California? What sort of impact could it have on the way this process plays out when it eventually gets to that stage?
It's not unusual because of the type of crime we are involved with, sexual assault. We do have, as they are referred to, Jane 1 through 5. But we do know 2 of the people who are accusers that will testify because they revealed themselves kind of in interviews a long time ago. One of those is actually Governor Newsom's wife, Jennifer Newsom, the current governor. When she was the actress, she says that she was sexually assaulted by Harvey Weinstein. And we know she's going to be one of the accusers testifying in court.
Okay, there's a lot to watch and a lot to break down. And Dina, we appreciate you helping us do just that. Law and crime legal analyst Dina Dahl joining us from Los Angeles.